name is Jordan LaFrance, and this is my persuasive speech. Imagine yourself being unable to walk, see, smell anything, and you can barely breathe by yourself. Your life was well lived before those years where everything went down the hill. You are in such pain it's unbearable. Although your family has been there for you through it all, you begin to think taking your own life is the answer to everything. Euthanasia is a term many of us aren't familiar with. When we hear euthanasia, we think of your vet putting your animal down. But what I'm talking about is human euthanasia. It is the Greek word for a good death, and it is a merciful one. Many people categorize euthanasia into different categories. There is voluntary, non-voluntary, and involuntary. Active or passive. Typically when you hear about euthanasia, it is active euthanasia, and it's known as physician-assisted suicide, and it is technically criminally homicide. Now let's take a look at why euthanasia should be legalized. For one, it gives you the right to choose whether you want to live or not. It saves money on medical bills, and it gives you the right to end your life if there's no better quality of life out there for you. So first off, deciding if you want to live or not is a personal matter. No doctor, no one in the government, no one else can decide this decision for you. Since it is not their life, they are not in your shoes, it is not their problem, it is yours. It has been argued that for people in life support systems, people with long-standing diseases such as pain and distress, that euthanasia is a better choice. It helps relieving them from all the pain and misery. In many cases of terminal cancers, when the patient is in so much pain and the people associated with them, around them, the terminal illness causes them pain, that it is much more practical and humane just to end their own life. The second main point is the economic factor. Many times we don't have enough money to pay for the needed medical care of someone who we don't know if they're going to live or not. In a way, we're just spending money and time on a situation that may never get better. Imagine they are in a great suffering and we are just prolonging that suffering. For those who are terminally ill, they don't want to be an emotional and financial burden on their relatives. So they believe that if they take their own life, that they will lighten their family's burdens. Due to the financial shortcomings, some patients can't afford to pay those expensive medical and hospital bills, so they view mercy killing as their only way out. And the question they bring to everyone's attention is, why pay for medical care when you know that your condition is not going to get any better? The third point is that the basic reason why euthanasia should be legalized is because it practically stops you from having a bad quality of life. Having a patient suffering is not adding to his good quality of life at all. When doctors reach this point, it should be legal for doctors to give the person, to grant them their wish. The quality of life is defined by the patient, not by the doctors, not by the government, not by anyone else. And this is actually a picture of Mr. San Pedro. When he was 25 years old, he dove into the shallow oceans around his house and he broke his back and was a quadriplegic. The doctors told him that his paralysis was irreversible and they had nothing to do for it. For 20 years, he fought with the courts, spent so much money trying to get it legalized. 30 years after the incident, when he was 55 years old, he actually ingested potassium cyanide and killed himself. So in conclusion, who can say that your life is not worth living anymore? No one but yourself can say that. Life and death is a personal decision. Your family, friends, and doctors can't make this decision for you. Think about it. Euthanasia is about giving the people the right to choose whether they want to live or die. It saves money on medical bills and it also stops the person from having a bad quality of life.